Hello, everyone. This is Emerson Markin, your Little Big Chat reporter for today's interview. And we have our very special guest, Mike Carrel. So welcome to our chat for today. We have a few questions we want to ask you and chat a little bit about your experience.
Great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for taking your time
having
also.
me. This is awesome.
I appreciate that
I
too.
could
You
definitely not
having
do
me.
this when I was your age. This is pretty remarkable.
Imagine.
very
I'm a
cool.
little bit nervous too.
I'm sure you are,
I'm
but you
taking the
don't look
challenge.
nervous, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate
Awesome.
that. So for our first question, we have, can you, in your own words, define what mentorship means to you and share it with the audience real quick?
Sure. I mean, mentorship to me, it's going to be different for every person. But to me, this is about finding a safe space and learning from other individuals. You know, I'm a big believer in that you've really got to be an incessant learner all the time, trying to kind of improve yourself. And having somebody that you can be in a safe place with. You can have conversations about just about anything. You can have conversations about life. You can have conversations about work and your aspirations and your career goals and what you want to accomplish. Those types of things, I think mentors can provide kind of guidance, but more importantly, an ear to listen. I like to say one of my mentors taught me that we have two ears and one mouth for a reason.
Right.
And the reason you've got two ears, a mentor is really good if they listen and understand kind of where the person they're talking to is coming from. And then they can provide guidance as much as anything else just by listening and understanding and kind of giving that coaching and guidance going forward. And mentorship to me is about helping somebody else and having an impact so they can kind of grow and be and fill their whole full potential of who they are as a person.
Okay, so not knowing that you had a mentor, can you tell us a little bit more about like how your experience was having one, and how did that help you or guided you into your goals and having a successful career in life?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I've had several mentors throughout my life, and I think all of us do. I mean, big brothers, big sisters in my mind is another mentor, but hopefully we've all got many mentors that we're relying upon throughout our lives. One of my mentors was from work, and he was this big shot CEO that I was looking up to, and at a very young point in my career, I made a big mistake. And I had kind of spent a lot of money. I was the CFO of a publicly traded company, and I missed a couple of things. And what he basically said was, he kind of, what I learned from him in this is I can scrape my knee and get myself back up. He taught me some great lessons. He said, hey, Mike, you know what? You made a mistake. You admitted your mistake. You owned up to it. But you believed in yourself. I believe in you. Let's take more risk and let's go forward. And so I scraped my knee, I got back up, and that mentor provided me that support. He let me fail. He let me make those mistakes. And at the same time, guided me and coached me that I can be better than what I was in that moment, and I can have a great career going forward. And actually, I use that all the time with people that make mistakes. I say, take risk, get outside your comfort zone, because risks and taking those risks is really important towards long-term success. And that's one of the big things I learned from one of my mentors. His name was Joe Costello, and he's just a phenomenal human being and a great CEO and a great person as well.
Okay, that's great to hear. That's a good story. I think it's very important for us as human beings to know that when we fall, the most important thing is like how to get back up. And I admire you for that. I'll take that as a tip for life too. Great advice. I always keep it in mind too. Thank you so much for sharing that experience with us.
Well, you're welcome. I've got many, many more failures that I can talk to you about if you want someday.
Imagine. Can you tell us a little bit more about one of them that you feel like, oh, this was very important also for me. This taught me this in life, and that's how I got up.
I'll give you one that goes back all the way to my college experience. I went to Penn State and loved Penn State. Awesome university. And I was super into it that I decided to try out to be the mascot. So, I always see the mascots on TV, and I was like, this is going to be so much fun. I've got lots of energy and lots of enthusiasm. And like 200 people tried out. And I made it all the way through the process to the point where I was able to get to the final two candidates. And when you do the final two candidates, you actually get to try on the mask, and you do like a women's lacrosse game. And I was so excited because I was really good at push-ups at the time. And I'm like, I'm excited. I can do lots of push-ups because you had to do push-ups in this particular mascot. and I'm running up and down, and all my friends are cheering on the sideline for the first half, and we're all excited, and I'm thinking, I'm going to get this. I am going to be the next mascot for Penn State. And then we sat down and we watched the guy who I was competing with for the second time. And then he gets in, he can do more than push-ups. He can do flips, he can do tosses and turns and cartwheels. And my friends and I, they all looked at me and they said, this is not your day. Right? So I didn't get it. And but it's another one of those ones where it was, and I was upset. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. I put all this time and effort. I really wanted to do this. I wanted to give back to my university in this way. But what it led to was me getting involved in, interesting enough, mentorship. So I then started to get involved in a local mentorship program at Penn State, which was really the beginning of my mentor journey and the beginning of my involvement in Big Brothers Big Sisters way back when. Had I not done that, I probably wouldn't be sitting here with you today talking about Big Brother. Had I not had that miss in my life, it was something super important to me at the time, and I was really upset that I didn't get, but it turned me to kind of give back in a different kind of way, and in one that I've had a lifetime of giving back, and really loved Big Brothers Big Sisters as a result. So that's another one where you kind of turn that failure into something, quite frankly, there's a reason I didn't get that in my mind. I didn't get it so that I could get myself involved in mentorship and Big Brothers Big Sisters eventually.
Okay, that's wonderful to hear. I'm glad you took that failure, like you said, into success and converted it in something positive in your life. And I bet putting that mascot costume on you, was that magical, wasn't it?
It was magical, and my kids like to make fun of me today. They'll send me like kind of memes of pretending that I'm in the mascot uniform saying what could have been type of thing. So everybody likes to make fun of me for it.
Okay, our second question for today is, why do you think it's important for young people to have a mentor in their life?
I really think it's important for, regardless of your age. I mean, whether you're young or you're at a later stage, even today, where I've got mentors that still guide me and give me advice, is that, as I mentioned earlier, it's a safe place to have a lot of conversations that maybe you're not comfortable having in the open forum, and to someone to help you understand how to take those risks and that they've got your back. So that when you take those risks, you've got that scaffolding, that support network in place. And I think that mentorship can kind of show you what the possibilities are. I'll give you an example. I'm I've been involved in Big Brothers for 30 years. And my little Wesley, who's just had an amazing life. When we were talking recently, one of the things that we did, and it was just small, where we were in Chicago, and I flew him on an airplane to Buffalo, New York, to see Niagara Falls. And he tells me to this day, he told me just literally a couple years ago, he said, Mike, you know what? You may not know it, but that little moment made me love travel and opened my eyes up to how big the world really is. And I contributed that little bit to him. And today, he's got 4 children. Every year they go on trips around the country. They visit different parts of the country. And he said that his love for travel and exploration started with him coming out of where he was in Chicago, in the inner city, to going to Buffalo and to seeing Niagara Falls and getting on an airplane for the first time. Mentors can provide that, kind of opening people's eyes to new experiences that can help their lives and kind of enrich their lives in many different ways.
Okay, since you told us a little bit how you became a mentor, and also you were at some point a mentee for someone or several mentors like you mentioned, can you tell us a little bit more about what made you get into Big Brothers and Big Sisters as an organization and be part of it?
So as I mentioned, when I was at Penn State, I didn't get the mascot and decided that I really wanted to get involved in mentorship. A friend of mine had been doing it at Penn State. It wasn't Big Brothers at the time. So then when I graduated from Penn State, I really wanted to get involved in Big Brothers Big Sisters of Chicago, because to me that was the preeminent best brand around the country, and so around the world, quite frankly. And so I applied to be a part of Big Brothers, and that's when I met Wesley. And then I had a love affair after that, meaning that I had a love affair with Big Brothers, the impact that we could have, meeting Wesley, meeting his family, learning from them, experiencing it, being together for 3 years in Chicago, and then, quite frankly, developing a lifelong attachment to Big Brothers. I wound up getting involved with the Minneapolis board of directors for many years, and then just 3 years ago, Artis invited me to join the national board, and so as I mentioned, it's been an over 30-year love affair with Big Brothers Big Sisters that really started at Penn State and extended when I went to Chicago and met Wesley.
Okay, that's really nice. I hope you've enjoyed your time with the organization, and also want to thank you for all the hard work y'all do on the organization for all of us. being myself a mentee still. So I think it's wonderful. We really appreciate all the hard work for us to have that type of support and guidance into our lives. So that's pretty amazing, all the job y'all have done.
Well, I think it's amazing what you're doing here today. You're sitting here interviewing somebody at a very young age. I could never have done that. I think that more importantly, you're an inspiration to others to kind of step out of their comfort zone and do an interview like this and spend time like this. Congratulations to you. You've got a big life in front of you, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Thank you so much for all that, and I really appreciate the opportunity and the experience too. Thank you everyone for watching us today. This was Emerson Marroquin, your Little Big reporter for the day, and we also were joined by the wonderful Mike Carrel. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming, for chatting a little bit with us about your experiences in life too. Hope this helps young generations to in a very positive way in their lives, careers. And thank you so much for all you're watching.